Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Doors and windows of some Bay businesses smashed. A woman believed to be of unsound mind allegedly used stones and other implements to smash the window and doors of several businesses in downtown Montego Bay, St. James, early Sunday morning. Many of the stores are located along St. James, Market and 4th Streets. The Saba Art Gallery, Naylor Stationery and Art Supply, and the office that opposition Senator Janice Allen shared with her sister, attorney at law Nicole Allen, were affected. At least 9 large panes of glasses were damaged at a different storefront on 4th Street. The preliminary estimate cost at the gallery so far is about $300,000. Maintenance manager at the Victory Building found a heavy crash bar he believes was used to break the window and door of the facility on 4th Street. Homeowner chops intruder who allegedly entered house claiming to be a cop. An armed man purportedly to be a policeman was chopped several times after he allegedly entered a businessman's home in Canon St. James. The suspect is under police guard at the Colony Regional Hospital in the Western Parish. Reports are that the man went to the shopkeeper's home at about 12:30 a.m. and knocked on the door saying police. The homeowner reportedly peeked through a window and saw the man standing at his door with a gun. He recognized his attacker from an argument the two had earlier. The purported cop reportedly started kicking the door, which the homeowner refused to open. He allegedly shut off the lock, entered the house and started shooting at the shopkeeper, police reports said. However, by then the businessman had already armed himself with a machete which he used to chop the intruder. The man ran from the house into nearby bushes and later turned up at the hospital. The Adelphi police are investigating. The chairman for the Police Federation sent strong message to the government.
They are seeking to say that they are guaranteeing a 20% increase, but it will be spread over 3 years. At 10% in year 1, 5% year 2, 5% year 3. What they have given us, it is what we have been grappling with, and we have been saying to them, it is not wise to take this to the members when in fact we are going to be worse off, and the anomalies that we have identified, it is there staring us in the face. You see, because we are not actuaries, the minister doesn't know who is behind the scene assisting us and guiding us. I am not going to sacrifice any member of the constabulary force before that I walk away, leave you, because I'm not sacrificing a soul. So it tells you, colleagues, that the government, which is our employer, is saying to us, simple put, we don't deserve to be compensated, similar to even our officer corps. And for that reason, I do not intend to sacrifice a soul. Government must pay for the service. I will work for the service where you can pay for. Simple put. And that is what I simply want to say to you. Over the years, we have caused ourselves to be placed in a compromised position. So much so that our Minister of Finance can be speaking as if we are mendicants at the table, telling who and who him doing favor for. Yes, but guess what happened, colleagues? I am not going there with a guy, because a guy can't find for me. All I'm simply saying, pay the police for what they are entitled to in service to the people of Jamaica. The tax dollar must speak for the service that is in protection of the citizen. The risk associated with the profession is far too great for us to compromise at this time. You are changing the relativity, that's your language. But all we are simply saying, you have determined that a compensation review is necessary. We have no objection to that. But to put aside what is a legal position that law has captured, and for what the court has deemed to be recognizable, for a position that is not secured, because the minister has made it very clear that he is uprooting the existing laws and provision, I cannot move the membership to a position of uncertainty.
You're a warrant thief, says parish judge to woman with 22 previous convictions. A parish judge could not hide her shock when she learned that an elderly woman accused of stealing $25,000 from the pocket of a woman in downtown Kingston had 22 previous convictions across the country. Nadine Franklin had stood before Senior Parish Judge Louis Uncole Montague at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court for sentencing on charges of larceny from the person and unlawful possession of property. During the proceeding, it was revealed that Franklin had been sentenced to 3 years in prison at hard labor, as well as 2 years probation in 1997 for the same offenses in the Clarendon Magistrate Court. The court was told that Franklin, whose latest conviction was in 2019, also had convictions in St. Mary, Clarendon, St. Catherine, and Manchester. "You're a roaring thief," persons might say, Cole Montague said. "I know it sounds very bad when I say thief, as they would stigmatize you, so to speak, but because of the charges that are here, larceny for the person, the average man on the road don't say, this person is from simple larceny. The average person on the road is going to say a thief, so that is what it sounds like on paper." Franklin was subsequently sentenced to 2.5 years in prison at hard labor for a larceny charge and 1 month in prison for unlawful possession of property charge. However, before the sentences were handed down, Franklin's defense attorney C.D. Mitchell urged the judge to show her client mercy. He urged that she had already reimbursed the complainant, but the judge was quick to point out that the day that was done, Franklin's daughter has brought the money in court, and after Franklin was searched, police officers found additional money. "Milady, I ask that you extend your hand of kindness," Michelle pleaded. Seemingly aiming to get a non-custodial sentence, he argued that the mere fact of having a sentence handed down her head should be sufficient as punishment. However, the judge said, "I am not so convinced of that argument. If it is that this court viewed the mere fact of having 22 previous convictions, that is something that has stained her, that should have been sufficient to reform her, that should have been sufficient to guide her steps." Cole Montague added that the judicial system has already shown Franklin mercy because she could have been indicted as a habitual offender. The judge explained that if this was done, she would have been facing more years in prison. Of course, any judge must have regard to the more favorable mitigating factors, but when a court sees a sentence, the court also must be guided by other overarching principles, and one such principle is the deterrent effect. How should the court treat with the fact that a defendant has so many previous convictions, the judge asked. In some ways, it can be said that what she has done with the mercy of it is disgraceful and dishonorable. Throw it back into her face of that person who gave it to her, and for that she must be held accountable, Colt Montague stated. DCS inmates should be mandated to do rehabilitation activities, says Maine. State Minister of National Security Zip Maine says inmates serving time in the country's correctional facilities should be mandated to participate in rehabilitation activities, noting that inmates currently have the option to choose whether or not they want to participate. Mr. Maine says this policy should be changed. He notes that the Department of Correctional Services should assess and then make a decision on which rehabilitation activities would be appropriate for each inmate. He was speaking at Friday's passing out parade ceremony for the 83rd intake of correctional officers at the Corroboratory Staff College in St. Anne.
It is said that the participation in these rehabilitation activities by inmates is voluntary. And as correctional officers, you have to recognize that. But as a minister, I want to be one of the first persons to be out there saying that when somebody has committed such grave wrong, that a court believes that the society must be protected from those individuals. So they are confined within a correctional institution. It has to be a little more than voluntary that those said individuals determine whether or not they participate in rehabilitation activities. We have to do a little more. Those individuals, I believe, certainly, ought not to have a say whether rehabilitation is an option for them. But instead, the Department of Correctional Services, through the Probation Aftercare Service, should assess and evaluate those individuals and make a determination as to the appropriate rehabilitation activity that suits individuals one to another.
Truck driver charged after 2 women killed in crash granted $1 million bail. Truck driver Maurice Baker, who is charged in relation to the death of 2 women in a crash last month, was granted bail, the sum of $1 million in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday. Baker, 27, is charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter in relation to the death of Rikisha Wright and Riccardo Garson. The matter was mentioned before Senior Parish Court Judge Desiree Alini. Bail was granted on conditions that Baker reports to the Spanish Town police every Saturday and surrender his travel documents. A stop order was placed against him. The judge did not entertain an application by his attorney, Kimor Iguran, for the bail amount to be reduced. The matter is to be mentioned again on May 19. Allegations are that around 3:35 p.m. on Monday, February 27, 2023, Baker was driving an Isuzu truck along Walker's Road in Angel, St. Catherine. Upon reaching a section of the roadway, he reportedly detected smoke inside the vehicle, looked down and lost control of the vehicle. The truck reportedly drifted to the right and crashed into a Toyota Probox car that was traveling in the opposite direction. White and Garrison were among 5 persons in the car who suffered injuries. These 2 later died. Baker was warned for prosecution, and following an investigation, he was formally charged. The bail application was made by Baker's attorney, Kimor Makiron. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click